It's funny, isn't it? How sometimes you find yourself walking, not even thinking about where you're going, just letting your feet guide you around. You've probably done that, felt the ground beneath you, soft and firm, guiding your steps. And as you walk, the air seems to shift slightly, carrying a faint scent of something familiar, but distant, almost forgotten, like the perfume of a memory. And you might notice how with every step, you become more aware of the rhythm of your breath. And as you focus on that rhythm, perhaps you can imagine yourself entering a quiet garden, a place where time seems to pause, where the trees whisper secrets in the wind. And as you wander, maybe you see a soft glow ahead, drawing your attention. Curious, you take another step and then another, following that gentle light. The glow becomes clearer now, doesn't it? A lantern swaying gently in the hands of an old groundskeeper. The lantern's light dancing across his face, warm and calm, like the flicker of a long-forgotten story waiting to be told. He nods to you, almost as if he's been expecting you, and gestures towards a bench under a sprawling tree. As you sit, you notice the air around you feels softer, the sounds of the garden blending into the gentle hum, like the melody of a stream finding its way around rocks. And as the lantern keeper settles beside you, he begins to speak, his voice steady and calm, like the way a stream smooths stones over time. He tells you of a time he once lost something precious, so precious he thought the ache might never fade. And he says, sometimes the ache teaches us how to carry the light forwards. He begins to tell you about a young woman who had a lantern that shone brightly. It was a special light, one she shared with someone who promised to guard it with her. One day a storm came, unexpected and fierce, and when it passed, she found herself holding the lantern alone. The light was dimmer, the glass cracked, and her hands trembled. She wandered for a long time, unsure if the lantern could ever glow the same again. And yet, as she walked, she noticed something curious. With every step, the lantern's light, though small, grew steadier. She learned to shield it with her hands, and soon it began to shine, not just for her, but for the paths of others she met along the way. And the funny thing about storms, the keeper says, his eyes twinkling, is that they clear the air even when they leave some damage behind. And often the light you carry becomes stronger, not in spite of storms, but because of it. As he stands to leave, he places a lantern in your hand. Your light, he says, is yours to nurture and will guide you always. And as you look down at the lantern in your hands, you realize its warmth spreads to your fingertips, your heart, and your mind. And as you rise from the bench, you feel lighter, steadier, as though you've remembered something important. Something about how storms shape not just the world, but also the light we carry forwards. You find yourself back on your path now, each step steady, each breath calm. And as you wake fully present, you might notice how much lighter you feel, how ready you are to walk forward, knowing the light is already within you. Thank you for joining me and my friend today, and until next time, goodbye and good mental health.